Hello, fellow classmates of information literacy skills and curriculum. My presentation today is over the Library of Congress website, and what I'm going to do is show you how I was searching for information. I live in Iowa, and so I'm going to select my state, and I teach middle school, so I've been working with the 8th graders a lot, so I selected 8th grade. And when I searched for library and technology, I didn't get that any returns actually. So I decided to search language arts since that's the discipline that I'm working with these days. After you hit search and get your returns, you can see that there are quite a few different options over here on the side for classroom materials, resource sets or source sets, lesson plans. And so when I looked at the lesson plans and was scrolling through them to see exactly, what would match up with what we are teaching to try and meet the standards and benchmarks of the curriculum, one of the things that I noticed right away is down here toward the bottom, where is it at? Is the political cartoons for finding a viewpoint. Right now they're doing a lot with trying to discern what exactly the the political cartoons mean and how they are going to use them in class to understand the purpose of them. And so when I opened this up and I was looking at it and trying to see, how can we use this in the classroom and how can I be a part of this lesson, I realized that right away it was two 50-minute class periods, which is great for this lesson. I do feel, though, that this idea of teaching kids how to understand political cartoons is something that could take a little bit longer and might need to be consistently done throughout the semester or throughout the year for them to really have a full understanding of the impact of the political cartoons and be able to discern the meaning of them. So I thought this was a great lesson, and again, right away at the beginning it says a careful analysis of political cartoons can provide a glimpse into the key moments of U.S. political history. And as a lot of you already know, language arts class really has a nice relationship with any of the social sciences because you do have to know history to understand the context of a lot of the literature that you are being taught or yourself teaching. So this was a good lesson. I really liked this one. I thought that this website could be really helpful, so I have put it on my teacher resource page as something that they can go to help with supplementing their curriculum. I also wanted to talk quickly about the calculator. And this is something that I really found that was very helpful. I was excited when I saw this. And I know a lot of people are saying it would be a little bit more helpful for the upper level kids to use this. And coming from high school, since that's my previous life, I do think that yes, high school kids will benefit, but I think even more the teachers are going to benefit from this because the teachers that I worked with really had a hard time understanding how to actually lay out their research and how to, scaffold it and put in line with, how much time they're actually giving to something. So I just went in and created a demo one, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is so great because when you enter the due dates of when you start and when you are expected to be done, I just let the auto default stay in there. But this part right here, where am I at? Step 1. It gives you the questions to help guide you, which is really part of that ISP model where we're really trying to get kids to come up with their own research question versus giving it for them. Trying to get them to figure out, what do I already know about this topic? What do I need to go ahead and find out in order to have a better understanding or background knowledge to start formulating my question? I like the fact that it had a draft of a rubric in here to try and help them. And one thing that was most interesting to me, Sorry, I'm doing this at school, so there's the bell. One thing that I thought was most interesting was the percentage of time. You know, some people spend so much time in the library, and I think they give their students too much time to find that information, and then the kids waste it. So if the kids know exactly, this is how much time I'm spending on it, these are my days in which, you know, my information is due, and you have something like this to record it, whether it was a paper graphic organizer or this online one, I think it helps keep them focused. And then the teacher, they can go in and see at any time what step the student is on and maybe where they're stuck and where they need help. You know, as the LMS, you also have the opportunity to really use some of that time to go ahead and say, okay, this is where I need to come in and do my counseling. This is where I need to do some redirecting or some questioning. So I think the research project calculator, it's something that I showed my head teacher and I put it on my resource page for the kids to look at, but mainly for the teachers, I'm going to encourage them to use it. Sorry, another bell. But I think that this has a lot of potential. I do agree with comments that have been made before where when you open up some of the stuff that there are a lot of questions inside which could get to the point where you're saying, oh my gosh, that's a lot of information. But I think, at least in my experience and maybe my method of teaching, I always want to make sure I'm very clear and explain in detail what I can do. So some of the kids, yeah, that might be a little overwhelming for them, but I think you're going to find a majority of them if you constantly direct them back to the page. What did it say? What worked? Where did you get stuck? What did you not understand? It really forces them to take that responsibility to go through that information and find it. So that's my presentation. Thanks for listening, and if you have any questions, go ahead and relay them to me in the discussion post section. Thank you.